We're back with our Aura Wellness Series, Part 7, with Helen and Larry Borth.
Good evening or good afternoon, whatever the case may be. Again, we're representing the Institute of Self-Awareness, and today we're going to look at a part of the aura that is, to me, very important. It's the first thing that people feel or sense or run into when you meet them, you know, for a job interview, for a relationship. This is what they first get, their first impression of you. And this is how I see it, as I see people's energy and as they meet. So we have these different layers. You know, we have the energy that's really close to us, then, which might be exactly just an extension of our humanness. And then as the further it gets out, it's supposed to get better. You know, the more spiritual energy is out here. But in most cases, we have what I'm going to call an aura shell. A shell, yes.
You're in a shell.
So right now, we're sitting next to my mother here. Our shells, our auras are intertwined, interconnected. So she's sitting maybe at the edge of my shell, and I'm sitting maybe at the edge of her shell for a normal working person. But they extend out, they could maybe come out 8 inches from the body, 3 feet, 10 feet, 20 feet or more, depending on how much energy you're presenting.
I know something about that. Like people who are concerned about themselves out in the public,
Yeah.
and their aura is like tight in.
Like our Vice video.
And then it's like if it was a balloon, so then as it comes in, it gets taller. And I remember when someone told us that he could see the auras like when people were in church, and those that weren't there in an open manner.
It was like taking 2 balloons, pushing them
Yes.
side by side.
And then when they pushed their aura side by side, because they didn't want to do this,
They didn't want to blend.
They wanted their own space, and then that made their aura go way up.
Yeah. Similar to when we talked about the Vice. So
Yeah.
let's look at this first slide, and I remember it's this first one here. Let's talk about this one first, I guess. When somebody's really having a bad day, that aura shell, that first thing somebody feels, if you're really not in a good space, it's almost like barbed wire. Or, let's take it from barbed wire maybe down to the sandpaper. And their impression is going to be, that person really rubs me the wrong way. And it's only, and it could be just because you had a car accident on the way to the interview. If you carry that energy of the car accident to an interview or to a meeting, your energy is going to feel like barbed wire or sandpaper. It's going to feel rough. It's not going to feel smooth. And together, I don't really have a picture of one that's all together. Well, I got one that's pretty good coming up in the next slide. But you can see the barbed wire things that will be rubbing you the wrong way. Or, you feel like you're rubbing against something. Sandpaper, that's the impression I get when somebody walks by me. The feeling I get on my skin, or a feeling of the energy, it's all of it. It just isn't right, because their aura shell is not like smooth like when you look at an egg, that nice smoothness.
It's funny how the words you pick to fit the certain, because it's not barbed wire.
It's just
not even close.
prickly energy. It's sometimes like a porcupine. What I see in somebody's energy, I have to really search for words that relay the same intent. And sometimes, I can't find it. That when somebody's looking, I see a color. When I look in my box of crayons, or
You don't have that
I don't
color.
have that color. So I have to come as close as I can, and then in words try to express that meaning. And
Same process.
yeah, and
as the
then
color.
I don't have the words, because either I don't have, I don't know them, or what the energy is telling me is so different than what I can find in words.
And is any of it changing that fast while you're looking at
Yeah,
it?
if somebody's had, let's say, a car accident, goes to a meeting, and they all come in prickly like this, and then they get that wonderful cup of coffee in the right temperature, the right creaminess, and it goes down, and they go, ah, that energy field could relax and be a nice smooth edge.
And that could all be within,
seconds.
oh, I was gonna say 5 minutes.
Well, 5 minutes. But, you know, depending on how strongly and anger you have towards that car accident you just had.
And how much you really like the coffee.
Yes. You know, you can change it. You know, all these, you know, kind of rough energy patterns we're showing you through all this video series can change like that if you are willing to let the past go. If you're not willing to let the past go, it hangs on, and then you end up looking like some of these bad drawings. We're getting some good drawings coming up.
The next
Now,
one.
this next one here, I always call it like amoeba-like, because the aura shell is flexing, looks like waves on the ocean, up and down, spurting.
Make up its mind.
Right. It's kind of when somebody's directionless, has this. It's not. I don't like to use the word non-caring, but it's just so apathetic to him about himself, the world at large. Just don't care. You know that your energy field fluctuates, goes in and out. You know, and it undulates like. Yeah, I don't know how to even. Those are the words that come to me, and it's like it also has a tendency to get a little slimy out here on this.
All right, do we have
A little something better.
one more? Okay.
Let's try this next slide here. Now, this first one here, what I call leaking energy. The energy is leaking out. Somebody, you can see that they've kind of gotten a nice edge going on their field, which is good, but it still has holes in it. So their energy is escaping. They can't hold on to their own energy field. And again, that's thoughts and beliefs they're carrying, because all these shapes are all the thoughts and beliefs you carry. Now, this next one is more. I don't want to use the word ideal, even though ideal energy field, where it looks like a crown. It has some undulations to it because it's radiating out, but there's this nice edge on the inside of it containing somebody's energy field within themselves, so their energy doesn't float away, but their energy also radiates out. And I wish I could have taken these spikes and continued them out into infinity, but for the slideshow that wouldn't have worked so well. But when somebody really knows that, let's say I'm a divine being having a human experience, or I'm infinite love and nothing else matters, well, all those little mantras we use around here, when they really know that with every fiber of their being, their energy kind of looks like this. It's contained, it has fluctuations, it has it all, rather than the amoeba-like or the barbed wire-like. It can fluctuate and change instantaneously by everything it sees.
So somebody who's having their aura done and ends up with something heavy,
Yeah.
that they know about it, they can do something about it like that.
Right.
We can give them a tool to do something, to
Right.
change it to some of these others, and even these good ones, that they can be changed, like that.
Yeah.
But they have to know what to do.
Right. And that's,
And it has to be discovered.
perfect. Yes. And what works for you may not necessarily work for me. It all comes down to our own beliefs patterns and our own, how much we can get behind our energy and our belief in it, and really get in there and mean business. You always say mean business to function it and move it, and know that energy follows thought. So, yes. So the next video we're going to come up with is,
Oh, you got it, yeah.
no, I know. The next video, next series, we're going to talk about some exercises to expand and keep your energy field out. But again, we're the Institute of Self-Awareness, and you can reach us at this phone number. Please visit our website and our YouTube page at Reiki Institute of Self-Awareness.
Reiki
Institute of Self-Awareness. Reiki dash. That dash has to be in there. Institute of Self-Awareness. And thank you, and we'll see you again.